From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger, your afternoon update here for your Friday. Yes, Friday is here, but the heat is also here and it has arrived. You noticed it yesterday, you're going to notice it again here today. It's going to continue through the weekend too. So that's where the heat wave sticks around. The good news is temperatures will start to drop, a gradual drop in our temperatures next week. The bad news is monsoon moisture working its way back up. We've got thunderstorms back in the forecast, especially for the eastern mountains this weekend. And by next week, the rest of the mountains really getting in on that action. So for the rest of the day today, yes, it's going to be another hot day, about 105 degrees for that daytime high for many of us in the valley, all to the south, lower 100s. I do expect those temperatures to be in the triple digits for Trinity County. Places like Susanville, 100 degrees. And the coast, well, of course, that's the coolest spot, right? Temperatures mid-60s for those daytime highs. These heat advisories, extreme heat warnings, they all expire at different times. When you see this map, the main story here, the main message I'm trying to tell you is, bottom line, it's just going to be hot. And that'll be the case through the weekend, as I mentioned. Now, the fire weather risk is also going to be fairly high as we go through this afternoon. Very low humidity levels down into the single digits with those numbers you see on the screen there. The orange is indicating high. We're getting in the deep, deep oranges as we start approaching some red colors in there. So very high fire danger here as we go into your Saturday and Sunday. This only goes out to about noon, but you get the idea. Starting off, not that bad, but as those temperatures really start to increase, our humidity begins to drop through the day, our fire danger also increases, and it will most likely be high as we go into Sunday afternoon as well. So the monsoon moisture, well, really first thing is you see the spin, the rotation in the atmosphere. That is the area of high pressure. That clockwise spin around those clouds over the desert southwest. That's the heat moving in. We're going to talk more about that moisture here in a second, but let's just take a look at the heat, because it is going to be hot through the weekend, and that continues even into early next week. But by Wednesday, we're finally dropping below 100 degrees, at least for Redding, maybe as early as Tuesday for Chico, but mid-90s by the time we get into Thursday, Friday, and into that upcoming weekend, which means the temperature's dropping below normal, and it looks like that could stick around for a while. So we just got to get through this heat wave, and we do have some relief in sight. I'm showing you this, and what is water vapor? What's this all about? Well, this shows you where most of the moisture is in the atmosphere. The rust colors is very dry air, and that's what we've been dealing with here. But I want you to just look closely. You see that dry air, that rust color over Northern California? First of all, take note that it is being nudged northward. That's important to note because we're getting less and less dry air, and we're starting to see more of that monsoon moisture working its way from the south. And that is going to be the source of moisture for the thunderstorms I'm talking about here as we go into the weekend. Tomorrow, best chances I think will be in Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties. West of that, okay, maybe parts of, say, Siskiyou County could see a stray shower, maybe a thunderstorm, but I think most of it will be to the east. And then the better chances start to spread westward into Siskiyou County, but most likely maybe northern Trinity County getting on that. Trinity Center, for example, Coffee Creek, Callahan, right? But places like Hayfork, Weaverville, I think has a more difficult chance seeing those thunderstorms on Sunday. So let's take a look at Futurecast here. This is going to take you through midday Sunday, but you get the idea. There are some clouds coming in this afternoon. You'll probably see some high and mid-level clouds. And you saw some of those showers that Futurecast is picking up on. It's too dry for any of that to reach the ground. So it will be dry today. And then we go into your Saturday morning, some clouds. And you see that, some of those showers, that will most likely evaporate. What you're seeing there, that light green going over the valley and parts of the, say, Siskiyou County, most likely that will evaporate. But that's that slight chance for showers I was talking about possibly making their way into Siskiyou County. But sometime mid-afternoon on Saturday, we start to see those thunderstorms in eastern Plumas, eastern Lassen, and into Modoc County as well. And then it looks like a lot of that kind of pushes more to the east by late in the day Saturday and Saturday night. But they do expect as we go into Sunday, and again, this only goes out to about noon on Sunday, but this will kind of help to illustrate that we are seeing some of those thunderstorms, especially toward north and east by midday Sunday. But I think by the afternoon on Sunday, same areas in the mountains for Lassen, Modoc, Plumas counties, all seeing the thunderstorms possibly on Sunday afternoon. But as I mentioned, I think some of those will work their way into Siskiyou County and maybe northern portions of Trinity County as well. Be sure to watch the 6 o'clock evening update as we'll take a look at some of the latest forecast model data and we'll get a better handle on what to expect here for Sunday afternoon, right? But for today, we got to get through that heat first, right? We're over 100 degrees, 100 to 105 in the valley, mid to upper 90s to the north and east of the valley, and Trinity County inland, over 100 degrees, mid 60s for the immediate coast, like Crescent City and Eureka. Tonight, it's going to be another warm night, only dropping down to the low 70s in the valley, 50s and 60s for the higher elevations, and mid 50s for the coast. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook, and we're going to start off with the valley. Yeah, hot through the weekend. Temperatures between 104 and 105 for Redding, 102 to 103 for Red Bluff, and 100 to 102 for Chico. Keeping it hot into early next week. But by the middle and latter part of next week, we're dropping below 100 degrees in most cases. The coast, minus some drizzle in the early morning and late night hours, you're going to be looking at mainly dry conditions, mid to upper 60s. Inland, you're also mainly dry. Temperatures 100 degrees or higher through at least Tuesday, dropping down to the 90s by Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe some thunderstorms by the middle and latter part of next week. Trinity County, I have bumped up that chance for thunderstorms as early as Monday, but I think your better chances will be Tuesday and Wednesday. And for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. So for Siskiyou County, as mentioned, mainly Sunday, and then going into next week. This weekend for Modoc County and Lassen and Plumas counties. Places like Bernie, Shingletown, you're probably going to have to hold off until Sunday or Monday before you start seeing those thunderstorms. All right, as I mentioned, I'm going to have another update at 6 o'clock in the evening, a more detailed, more in-depth look at the forecast and those chances for thunderstorms throughout the weekend going into next week. That's all coming up at 6 o'clock this evening. Until then, have a great afternoon and stay cool.
Construction season is well underway in the North State, and we'd like to remind drivers to slow down around work zones. Keep Caltrans workers safe when they're on the job, and remember to be work zone alert when you see the color orange. Remember to pay attention to signs, merge early, avoid distractions, and don't speed. This message is brought to you by Caltrans District 2.